Billy Vigor was 21, and on a normal Saturday night he was doing what he always did, chasing the ball, chasing a chance, until a single, brutal moment changed everything. During an Isthmian League fixture at Wingate and Finchley, Vigor sprinted to stop the ball crossing the touchline and collided with a hard surface at the edge of the pitch. Medics treated him on site as an ambulance, and an air ambulance were called. The game was halted within minutes and ultimately abandoned, and the young forward was rushed to hospital. He was placed in an induced coma and underwent surgery to try to stabilize him. Despite those efforts, his family confirmed he later died. The shock of a life cut short. A former Arsenal Academy forward whose career had taken him through loan spells and non-league hard work landed like a thunderbolt across clubs and fans, and the immediate reactions were heartbreak, anger, and a flood of questions about how something like this could happen on a football field. Vigor had come through the Hale End pathway that produces so many hopefuls, and after time at Derby's Academy and spells at Eastbourne, Hastings and then Chichester this summer, he was playing the game he loved. Now his teammates, coaches and childhood friends are left reeling, and a small community has to reconcile the ordinary joy of Sunday fixtures with extraordinary grief. Tributes poured in from his former clubs and governing bodies. Matches were postponed and social feeds filled with people still trying to understand how a touchline could hold something so lethal. That sense of disbelief is sharpened by memory. Football has seen similar incidents before, most notably when Alex Fletcher crashed into advertising hoardings reinforced with concrete and suffered life-changing injuries, a case that pushed the FA and others to call for clearer guidance and safety. Reviews around pitch perimeters. The uncomfortable truth is that many grounds, particularly in non-league football, still have hard structures just inches from where players sprint and slide. When a player's momentum meets concrete, the consequences can be catastrophic. Now, amid mourning for Vigor, headlines and fans are demanding concrete answers. Who approved that layout, what safety assessments were carried out, and which bodies will act to make sure no family has to endure this again. For supporters and teammates, the immediate focus is human. Funeral arrangements, family statements, the quiet rituals of grief that follow any sudden death. For regulators, clubs and unions, the pressure will be to move from words to policy, to examine advertising hoardings, hard barriers and emergency response protocols, to issue enforceable standards for perimeter safety, and to fund changes at the smallest grounds that cannot afford expensive retrofits. Those debates matter because they turn sorrow into prevention. They keep the memory of a player like Vigor from fading into an anonymous statistic. In the short term, the football calendar will reflect the loss, games postponed, moments of silence, black armbands, but the longer test will be whether clubs, leagues and governing bodies accept the political and financial cost of safer perimeters and act quickly. Until then, the picture is painfully simple. A talented young life, an ordinary match, a collision with something that should never have been a mortal hazard. Viewers, fans and officials will watch how this unfolds. For Vigor's family, for teammates and for every player who runs down the touchline hoping to return home safe. If anything positive can come from this, it will be a change that makes the game safer, turning collective grief into a commitment that no player has to pay this price again.